Hello, tile friends. This is Luke Miller, and you're listening to another episode of Tile Money podcast, where I talk about the business of tile. Today, I'm interviewing Luke, owner of Hendershot Tile. Luke, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, how's it going? My name's Luke. My name's also Luke
All
Hendershot.
right.
I am the owner of Hendershot and Sons Tile Installations out of LA County in California. And I am third generation in my family of running this company. I've been doing tile since I was a little kid, so tons of experience in the trade. And yeah, that's about it.
Right on. So for those of you listening and not watching to this, of course, you heard both our names are Luke, and we're both wearing the same hat,
Yeah.
which is not our company. So we have a friend in common. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
The power of Instagram. For me, you might know Jordan personally.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's how I got to know him. So.
Right on. Right on. Can you share? Do you have any hobbies after work?
I do. I'd say my main hobby is playing music. I play guitar, piano, bass. Other than that, hanging out with the wife and dogs and doing all that. Going to Disneyland. My wife works for Disney, so we get to go do that pretty often.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Right on. So being third generation, you must have picked up a lot of tricks. Was there a time when you left tile, or did you always know you were going to stick with the tile business?
I've pretty much always been doing tile. I do a lot of other things besides tile, so there's other trades that I've kind of dabbled in, but I've always just kind of worked for myself. So I've never gone into any other type of full-time job or anything like that. I've pretty much just been doing tile since I got out of school.
Okay. Right on. What are you currently working on? Do you do custom work or commercial work? What do you?
I do all residential work, so mostly everything I do is pretty custom. I also do pretty much start to finish bathroom remodels.
Okay.
So in between just the regular tile jobs, I'm remodeling bathrooms. But yeah, it's pretty much all I do. I've done a little bit of commercial work, but as of this year, I've just pretty much been working solo.
Okay.
Kind of doing small jobs, anything I could take on by myself without, staff or anything.
Right on. Right on. So how is that working for you? We were talking a little bit about how you've been billing lately.
So pretty much the last few months, I've just been linked up with some good general contractors that I've done work for, and I've almost exclusively been working for them, and it's just been kind of keeping me, super busy, more work than I can really keep up with.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's been working really good for me, working by myself. They kind of have the job scheduled already, and they just kind of let me know what week by week what they need me to do and how to do it. And then when I get to the job, everything's pretty much ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been working really good for me. It's taking a lot of the stress out of what I've dealt with in the past. So it's been working really good for me.
Yeah, right on. And you said you're charging time and materials?
Yeah.
I know a lot of guys have questions about that.
Yeah, I haven't been doing it all that long until really this year like in the past, like when I've done like small repair jobs or stuff like that, I'll do
Right.
but never really did it for bigger full size jobs. But the last few months, that's what I've been doing, with a couple different. I haven't done it really for homeowners yet. Whenever I do something directly for the owner, I'm still doing, giving a bid, doing a full estimate. and all that and contracts. But for these contractors, I've just been doing time and material, and it's really effective because you know what you're gonna make no
Right.
matter what, and there's not the risk of not getting paid for everything you're doing on the job. You literally I get paid for every minute that I spend on the job
Yeah.
working,
Yeah.
guaranteed. So it's got its good things for sure. And I think some guys might feel that it would limit them a
Right.
little what they can make, and in a way it's probably true. I mean, you're pretty much always locked into the hourly rate you're giving, the owner or the contractor, whatever. So some people might be afraid of that, but it's really worked out good for me. And like I said, it's taken a lot of the stress out of business, just
Yeah. Yeah. Part of the difficult thing of running a small, even a one-man show or a few man is, wearing so many hats as far as being, the biller, the estimator, all the insurance and all the paperwork and all the office work. And this way, it sounds like you're cutting a lot of that out.
yeah. I mean, I still have all the insurance,
Sure, sure.
the cost of the license, and all of that, all of the administrative type of fees. They're all
Yeah,
still there, but I know what they are. So I know what I've got coming in each week,
yeah,
and I know what how much I'm having to pay out as far as all of those bills. So I feel like it's just a good balance.
yeah. It would probably be within a short amount of time. You probably got dialed in your hourly rate pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that? Was that your idea or the builder's ideas?
It um actually one of the builders I work for, who's actually pretty good friend of mine.
Okay.
Um that's what I've done with him for the last couple of years,
Okay.
which he didn't used to do all that much work. So it's just like occasionally I would do a job for him here and there, and he would just pay, you know, by the day. He was paying me
Right.
by the day.
Right.
And, I don't know. I just liked it. I just liked knowing what I was going to make going to work from, day by day. And there's just, I don't know, I just figured out, what, I'm kind of doing better working by the day
Yeah.
than sometimes what I do when I'm trying to bid a job and go that route. So
Okay.
so I pretty much started doing it with him. That's just how we kind of did it. And then I approached a couple of the other contractors I work for about doing the same thing, and they went for it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just worked out. So
Now, how about materials? Are you buying the tile or is the contractors?
usually the contractors always supplying, or the ones that I'm working for, they're usually supplying the tile, and a couple of them even supply a lot of the building materials too, like
Okay.
inset, grout, stuff like that. And then pretty much all the other little miscellaneous things like spacers, leveling spacers, and just all the other, I don't know, just little miscellaneous things I'll pay for. And then as the job's going on, I just either show them copies of the receipts or just let them know how much I've got in on material, and then I get compensated for it.
Okay. Got it. Are you marking up that material or pretty much just cost?
No, I'd add costs for them. The only time I would do that, which most contractors know that you're going to get better prices on materials than the general public,
Right.
so I'll do that, for like when if I'm doing a remodel for a homeowner,
Okay.
I'm marking up all those materials, but not for contractors. I don't really do that.
Excuse me. So with your remodels, when they come up, are you doing the time and materials as well? Are you selling that to the clients?
I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
I might try it. in the
Okay.
near future. But the contractors that I am doing this for, there's a lot of trust there, and they know that I'm very, what would you say? I'm very effective when I'm on the job, and they know that I'm reliable, and then I work efficiently. Not only doing good work, but I work efficiently, so they know that they're not going to really get stung, having to pay me by
Right.
the day, by the hour. So I feel like, a lot of homeowners wouldn't really like that idea. They're gonna wanna they're gonna wanna see a number, and
Hmm.
like, they wanna know exactly what it's gonna cost for their
Yeah.
tile job or remodel. So I'm not sure. I might try it sometime, if it was the right job, if it's something, a job that I got from another as a referral or something like that, I might try it. So I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I've done it with a couple direct to homeowner remodels, but I give them a round number and I say, hey, it's going to be about like 10 to 20% max, depending on the job. Sometimes I'll be like, are you comfortable with a 20% spread here? It could go either way if we do T&M.
Right.
And typically, like you said, they're not interested, but I've had a few that really like it. But I've gotten away from it myself. But I tried earlier in my career to do that.
Yeah. I mean, if they really, they like you, they know your work, and they feel like they trust you,
Yeah.
and I feel like they probably would go for it, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Right on. So, what hurdles have you had to overcome? It sounds like you kind of, grew up in the trade and then, kind of inherited the business. Is that true?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
hurdles have you overcome? Having a business like that.
Um, many, many hurdles for sure. Um, for one, the main one that I've had a lot of issues with, which I'm sure so many contractors and tile contractors can relate, is just trying to find guys to work for you and help you, and produce the kind of work that kind of, is on the same level that, you produce yourself. And I don't know, just finding reliable guys, that want to show up to work every day,
Yeah.
time, do good work, not be lazy, not be sloppy, and also not be greedy.
Right.
So that's right there has been the, my biggest issue that I've had to deal with, and that's why at this point I'm working mostly solo, just because I know like what I'm capable of doing, and I'm kind of the most reliable person I know. So yeah, that's been the biggest hurdle. That's the main one I can think of right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure you can relate.
Yeah, for sure. And oftentimes in this in the world of custom bathrooms, smaller jobs one at a time, oftentimes, contractors are finding that it's best to stay small. The guys that I've been talking to,
Yeah,
when you're
I
in
would.
this,
Anybody that's kind of wanting to, they're doing tile, doing whatever, even if they're working for somebody else, they're thinking about going out on their own. Just definitely at first, stay small.
yeah,
Don't try and grow quick. Growth will come, with time.
yeah,
The more work you do, the more you get known, the more your name gets out there. Maybe it's more possible, but it's definitely easiest to stay small, for sure. I
yeah,
agree.
yep, yep. And that's solid advice to anybody who's looking to go out on their own is don't get too big for your britches.
Yeah. Don't bite off more you can chew.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of value in taking your time and doing it right, and getting to know yourself and the business too.
Exactly.
So what would you like? Where do you see your business going in the future? Are you gonna pretty much keep trucking the way you have been?
I think how I'm doing it right now is something that could, for the long term, I think it would work out easiest for me.
Okay.
You um, so I can. It's hard to say. I can see myself doing things the way I am right now for a long time. Um, Not that I haven't always enjoyed running my own business, but I feel like how I have it set up right now, I'm enjoying it more than I ever have.
Okay.
Just I just really like being able to just concentrate on the tile work and just being able to take my time and really do things right and not really having to be worrying about what other people are doing. So, but I also, I mean, I'm sure the older guys would understand that I probably can't. I'm not going to be doing this forever. I'm not always going to be able to be on my knees, you know,
Yeah.
swinging thin set and all that. So, at some point, I'd probably go at trying to hire some guys again. You know, if I meet the right guys or whatever, you know. Um, so yeah, I'd probably try and grow again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe even a couple of years from now or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to let you know too, I do know in certain areas where I've lived, I do know of companies that they do time and materials, and they have multiple crews out there with every guy having a hourly rate on basically on his head for their customers. So it can
Yeah,
be done. It's kind of a interesting method, but I think it can be successful for sure. So I don't
yeah,
think you would necessarily need to abandon that, especially once you're building your brand and building your reputation.
yeah, yeah. I could see that. I haven't completely gone that route yet, but I could see that as a tile guy if you're doing work for quite a few different contractors, and they trust you, they trust your guys.
Yep.
I could really see that working for sure.
Yeah.
So it's a lot better than square footage pricing.
For sure. For sure.
That I dropped that a while ago. Now, you know, that also can work for sure. You
Yeah.
know, but you know, it doesn't cover everything. It's like if you're let's say you're doing a shower that's 110 square feet. How how are you gonna bid that based off of a square foot price? It's just, I don't know.
Well, yeah. What I've found is it can work, but you just can't be competitive with it. In other words, using other guys' numbers, you really have to take the time to learn, how long a subway shower takes you, and then you can come up with the square foot pricing. And then there's a lot of variables, so
Yeah, exactly.
you always have to tweak it. But for like rough estimates or something, it could work. I try to always double check my numbers. That way, I kind of have that in my mind with the square foot pricing.
Right.
It seems to keep going up
Yeah.
for my business.
As it should be. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's talk a little bit about that down in LA. I know there's a lot of tile guys running around, trying to make a buck, and I know the competition is pretty stiff down there. Have you seen, what negative things have you seen as far as square foot pricing and the detriment to the trade and the quality of the work that these guys are putting out, because they're thinking about time versus quality. Am I correct?
Yeah. I mean, for sure. Even if they're not giving, there's not guys giving square foot prices, which most are. This is kind of like what we've been taught. So, um, anyway, about it, there's guys underbidding work for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And there's obviously a lot of people down here, so there's a lot of homes, a lot of tile work to be done. So there's a lot of guys doing tile because of that. And yeah, it's almost like most guys are just working for too cheap, you know. And just like, even like you've said, it's like in your other videos, it's like you got to know your numbers. There's a lot of guys that don't really know what they're making.
Yeah.
They just see, if they're estimating work, they're just looking at the final number that they're given on their estimates, or contracts for jobs.
Yeah.
And they just don't really do the math on what they're making. So if you're not, you're doing all this hard work and you're not really making great money doing it, you're gonna, reach a breaking point, and you're gonna stop doing quality work. If you are capable of doing really high quality work, you're not going to, if you're not making enough money, because you're just going to be frustrated, and you're just gonna rush through jobs, and you're just not going to be giving people what they deserve. And
Yeah.
the homeowners are never going to figure out that they want to get the best price possible. I can see that, even like when you're going to shop for a car, you're going to consider what you're paying, and
For sure.
they're never really going to know exactly what's going on behind the scenes, how much the guys are actually making.
Yeah.
So it would do everybody a favor, if you just stop underbidding.
For sure.
Because you're not doing yourself you're not doing yourself or anybody any favors doing that, for sure. So
Have you had conversations with your father or even your grandfather about pricing over the years?
When I first got started, when I kind of took the reins, took over this business from my dad once he kind of retired. At first I did, but then I kind of, once I got out doing it, when I would talk to, when I talked to guys at first, everybody was telling me square foot prices. So that's just kind of like
How you get, yeah.
what I started doing. I don't think that's really what my dad did back in the day.
Okay.
I don't really know for sure how he would do it, but I didn't really talk to him too much about how to price out work. Once I kind of started doing my own thing, I just kind of like, I tried to figure out for myself,
Okay.
which was a bad thing. Sometimes, when you're first getting started, it's hard, it's hard to charge enough, because you want to get out there and you want to start doing the work. So most people, when they first get started in something, they're not charging enough. So when I first started, I definitely didn't charge enough. I probably should have been asking some more questions, but
yeah. I was just I've talked to some older guys, and it seems like the pricing, especially down there in the LA area, but kind of everywhere, has either remained the same or in some cases went down, as far as when we're talking about like like square foot rates or even daily rates. So I was just curious to get that feedback. But
yeah, I don't know if like prices have gone down,
okay.
but I know when I was first getting started was when the recession happened.
Okay.
So prices were way down.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I heard like crazy stuff of guys doing tile work for $1 a square foot, or just crazy stuff. So,
Man,
but
rough times.
What just like the square footage prices,
Yeah,
they haven't really changed in a long time. So
yeah,
that's not good, because over the last 20 years, 25 years, things have gotten way more expensive as far as living, every day, just the cost of things. So
yeah.
the price we're charging should have gone up with it. So
100%. Couldn't agree more. Right on. Hey, I wanted to talk to you about your side business or hobby, TIS, Tile Installation Systems. For those of you that don't know, you can follow Luke. There it is. He's on Instagram at tile_installation or tile period installation period systems.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's kind of a new venture of mine. Just like you said, as of now, it's more a hobby than
Okay.
anything else. Not a real company yet, but more of an idea at this point. I'm not even sure exactly where I'm going to go with it, but my main goal is to just help out guys with, just the technical stuff we're constantly having to be working out, every day on the job. And just a lot of guys, probably have questions
Mm-hmm.
about, how they need to be doing things. So kind of want to just create a page that people can go on to, and they can just go through my feed, my stories, whatever, and they can just instantly learn something, and just better their skills.
Awesome.
Also, kind of using it to give exposure to, the good products that I feel that, tile contractors should be using, as far as like waterproofing, setting materials, grout, all that stuff. There's a lot of really good products out there, and there's a lot of not so good products. So that's probably one of my other main goals, is just to, the companies that I feel are really making the best materials, kind of get their name out there too.
Okay.
So
right on.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've really been doing with it.
Well, I've been enjoying your tips. I think it was yesterday you shared how to create a circle with nothing but a tape measure and a pencil, right?
Yeah.
Perfect circle. Yeah. So
stuff like that. I'll probably start doing more,
it's a simple tip that, the younger guys will definitely benefit from.
Yeah, for sure.
Or even
for a lot of things, it doesn't, you don't have to have, you don't always have to have the most expensive tools.
Yeah.
What you're doing, so
yeah,
knowledge is power.
Right on. Is your tile business on Instagram?
Which is now my personal page, is pretty much my, what I'm using for exposure.
Okay.
As far as my business, but I don't have much online presence for my company. And
Okay.
I don't know, the way I look at it is I have way more work than I can keep up with right now.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe in the future I might do more stuff like that. But
well, it sounds like you're in a good spot. Your hard work and dedication is paying off.
Yeah, I mean, it was a long road, it didn't come easy, for sure.
Right on, Luke. Well, any last tips or ideas for younger guys or older guys who are thinking about starting a business?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff we kind of covered already, but don't mostly just be for the younger guys or anybody trying to start their own business. Don't be desperate, and don't undersell yourself just to stay busy, because that'll lead to nothing but frustration. So
yeah,
only take on the jobs where you're going to be making enough money,
yeah,
do quality work and do all that. Don't work for nothing. Don't wear yourself out and stretch yourself out, over something that's not even worth your time.
Yeah, that's great advice. I've found, when I was working for some contractors and meeting new contractors, some of these guys will tell you, well, if you do this job for this price, there's a lot more work down the road, and don't fall for that, because all it's going to lead to is either no more work or a lot of work, but for the same price. And you're just going to be struggling to keep your head out above the water.
Yeah. That'll go south real quick.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've gone that route.
Yeah.
Definitely. So you want to, not that, I'm saying all general contractors are
Sure.
bad.
Obviously, you found some good ones. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good guys out there that you could be working for. You just
Yeah.
and no matter what, always make sure you're doing your best with your work. You're not, you know, taking shortcuts and whatever, blah blah blah, just to get work done. Keep the quality of your work as good as you can make it, and at some point, the right people are going to see it. And the right people will want you to work for them and pay you what you're worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Right on. All right. Well, before we jump off this call here, tell us what kind of funny situation you're in right now. It's about 7 a.m. here. You got to work early. You were ready for a big day of work, and
Yeah,
what
so
happened?
I have a empty house that I was going to be working in today, or I am going to be. I got to figure out a way
Yeah.
to get in there. But yeah, I got here at 6 o'clock this morning, and there's a deadbolt locked on the door that I can't get open. So I've been sitting in my car for about an hour. The contractor I'm working for, I didn't want to call him and wake him up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Tell him, so, yeah, I got to figure this out. I got a lot of work to do today, so I got to figure out a way to get in this house.
Right on. Well, he's probably going to be waking up pretty soon, I'm sure.
Hey, I have one last question for you.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get your mustache so perfectly groomed? It's like a work of art, man. Honestly, it's
Oh, thanks, brother.
a hat, a monocle.
Yeah.
Monopoly guy,
Yeah, I started growing my mustache, and I never thought I'd be a mustache man, but I started growing a beard when I was traveling, and I shaved the beard off and kept the mustache as it got longer. And the longer it got, the more it grew on me. And
Yeah.
it took several years to get it to this point.
Right, I'm
And
sure.
a lot of wax.
Yeah, you got the mustache comb and all that.
You know what? I've got this beauty right here. You got to do it.
Yeah, props on that, man.
Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking about starting a mustache page.
Yeah, or just a Instagram page just for your mustache.
Exactly. Right on, brother. Well, I've had fun, and it's been enjoyable, and I appreciate the tips and advice you gave. I know a lot of guys are going to benefit, so thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime, man.
Keep up the good work on tile installation systems on Instagram, and I'm looking forward to talking to you in the future.
Cool, man. Sounds good.
Have a good day.
All right, Luke.